Welcome to Financial Analytics. In today's session, we will discuss data frame structure in R. So data frame is one of the key data structure in R. So there is a vector that we have learned, matrix we have learned in earlier sessions. So today we will focus on data frame. So data frame is one of the key data structure in R which has a two-dimension data structure. So vector is a one-dimension data structure and matrix and data frame are two-dimension data structures. So in data frame, every data point has a unique column number and unique row number. So data frame is a similar to our table and to which we store our data. So basically Excel files that we use to record our financial data are simply a data frame format in R. So let us take one example that we are going to analyze today. For a financial analysis with a data frame in RStudio, we will take Tata Motors financial data. Now you can see this is a Tata Motors financial data. So the first column is a financial year where the data comes from 2017 to 2021. So this is the 5-year financial data, and there are 3 profitability ratios, 2 liquidity ratios, 1 column is related to interest coverage ratio, and 3 columns are turnover ratios. Now how to identify the data frame? The data frame has a column names which is a non-empty. So you can find out here everywhere there are column names. There is no column without a names. So every column is a non-empty. Now the second thing is that every column contains the same data type. For example, the first column is related to financial year which has a format of dates. So the first column is related to date format. Now the second column is related to operating profit margin which has the same data type which is a numeric. The third column also contains a numeric data type. So data frame has columns and they contains the same data type. Now the third point of a data frame is that all the columns are of equal length. For example, in the first column there are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 data points. In the second column we again have 5 data points. So all the columns are of equal length. So this is about a data frame. Let's move ahead by bringing this file into RStudio. For further financial analysis, we have imported this Tata Motors financial ratios Excel file into RStudio. Now if you don't know how to import Excel file into RStudio, I have uploaded a separate video for that. You can go and check it. Now when I have imported this Excel file into RStudio, I have renamed that file and created this variable TM, or replace a name with the TM. So my Excel file is now TM, or simply my entire data in Excel file now is stored in the variable TM. Now go for further analysis, we require new R script. So you can get the R script from this tab. So let's start. Now what we will do, first we will check the head of a TM file. So what is suggest, this TM file is a data frame, and in R there is a one type of a data frame is a table. Now table is a type of a data frame, and this our TM file has a 5 rows and 10 columns, and first column is a FY. Now what is a good characteristics of a table is it gives you a name of a column and the data that column store also it provides. So FY is a financial year column which store a data of related to a dates in the form of date, year, time and month. So this is a type of first column. Now The second column is operating profit, and that is in the form of a double. Double means simply it's a numeric data type. Third column is a gross profit. It is again in the form of a double, means it's a numeric form. Now in this way we can check the head. So with the head, now if you want head and only you want to see a first row, then you can write n is equal to 1. You get the first row of a TM file. Now apart from this head, we can also check the structure of a TM file. So use this str function and then write TM. Here you can see the structure of a TM file. It's a table data frame which has 5 rows and 10 columns. So accordingly these are the rest columns, and in this way we can see the structure of our Excel file. Now if you want to see a column names, then write a column names of a TM. So this is a list of column names. Now in our file there are no row names. So but still, if we want to access the row names, use the row names function and then you will get the row names. Now I don't have my Excel file the row names, so it is returning me 1 2 3 4 5. Now the next thing is we will check our missing data. So is there any missing data into our file? So to check the missing data, we use the function is.na in the TM file. Now what this function does, is.na, it checks is there any missing data into our file. So there you can see here everything is a false. Now false means there is no missing data. If you find out anywhere true rather than a false, the true indicate yes there is a missing data. Now what we see here is the false. False means there is no missing data. Now what you should remember here, false are assigned false a 0 value. For every true there is a 1 value, for every false there is a 0 value. So as I can see here, everything is a false. So for every false there is a 0 value. So if I take the sum of all these missing value, sum of these false, it must be 0. So that means there is a no missing data. So sum of all the missing data, sum is.na of a TM, and now you can see here the answer is 0. 0 means there is no missing data into our file. Now if you want to check the number of rows and number of columns in your data set, write down this function n rows and in the TM file. So there are 5 rows in our Excel file or in our database, and if you want to check the columns, then use the function ncol. So it will return you the number of columns in your file. So there are 10 columns in my dataset. Now we will check to how to access a selected rows. So accessing selected rows and columns. So to access a selected rows and columns, first write down your variable. So variable is a TM, and then use a square bracket. So square bracket we specifically use to access the columns and access the rows or access the selected data points. So now if I want to access only a first row, then give 1 and then comma. It will help you to access the first row. Now similarly, if you want to access a first column, then first give a comma and then write a number or a number of a column that you want to access. So this is our first column, FY. Now if you want to access first three rows, then you can use this function, and now you will get the first three columns, FY, operating profit margin, and gross profit margin. These are the first three columns and that we have accessed. So this is the way we can access a selected rows and selected columns. Now if you want to access only the first, second and third row, then TM square bracket 2 to 3 and then give the comma. Whatever is the before the comma is the row. So these are the second and third row that we have accessed. Now what we will do, we will learn how to access every single column with the help of a dollar sign. So first write down the variable name. Our variable is a TM, which store our Tata Motors financial ratios, and then press a dollar sign. And as you press the dollar sign, the list of columns get opened. Now I will select this net profit margin and hit the enter. Now what I want to check, is there any financial year in which the Tata Motors has earned net profit margin beyond 10% in last 5 years? So greater than sign and 10. So 10 is a 10% net profit margin, and then I am hitting the enter tab. Now what R is returning me? False, 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 false. So there are 4 false, means there are 4 financial year in which the company is unable to attain the 10% profit margin. But the last instance is true. True means yes. In this there is a 1 financial year out of 5 financial year in which Tata Motors has successfully attained the net profit margin beyond 10%. Now if you want to see those financial year in which financial year Tata Motors has a net profit margin beyond 10%, we can also check that. So let me copy this code first. So write down TM, then open the square bracket and close it, and then I'm pasting that code, and then give a comma and then hit the enter. And there is a 1 financial year 2017 in which the company has a net profit margin beyond 10%, and that profit margin is 11. So in this way we can access those columns with the help of a dollar, and we are doing this statistical analysis. Now let us understand how to sort the data into increasing and decreasing order. So to arrange our data into increasing and decreasing order, or to sort the data, we use a function called order. And then TM, first write down our variable and then use this function order, and then TM, and then select the financial variable by which you want to sort your entire data. So I want to arrange my data as per the current ratio. So current ratio, and now you can see here my entire data is changed and my data is sorted as per the current ratio, and my data is arranged in the increasing order. So the first current ratio is 0.49, then it is increased to 0.55, 0.55, 0.62 and 0.63. So in this way my data is arranged in the increasing order. So also my financial year are changed. So 2018, then 2019, 2017, 2021, 2022. So my entire data is changed and it is arranged as per the increasing order of current ratio. Now if I want this data in a decreasing order, I will simply write this code and write decreasing is equal to true, and you can see here the current ratio is arranged in a decreasing order and my entire data is also arranged in the decreasing order. So let's move ahead and do some statistical analysis. So what I have told you is if you want to access a particular column, then first write a name of a variable and then press this dollar function and the list of the columns will get opened. Now TM, gross profit margin, if you want to see, then you can see a gross profit margin. And now if what we will do some statistical analysis on this gross profit margin. So I want to check a mean of this gross profit margin. So TM dollar and then select the gross profit margin. So we are using the mean function to get the mean of this data. So the gross profit margin of Tata Motors in last 5 years is a 8.11. Similarly to the mean, we can also check the median, and median of TM gross profit margin. So the gross profit margin for Tata Motors in last 5 years is a 9.27%. Now if you want to check the range or range and then TM and then gross profit margin, you will get the range. What range will return us? Range will return us the minimum and maximum value in that column. So the lowest gross profit margin is a 3.29% and a maximum gross profit margin is 11.65%. So mean, median, range, we can also check a min function. Return me a minimum of gross profit margin. So in the range function we saw the 3.29 is a minimum gross profit margin. Similarly to the min, we can also check a max of gross profit margin. So there is a max function. So maximum gross profit margin in last 5 years is 11.65%. Similarly, we can also check the standard deviation in data. So TM gross profit margin and you return me a standard deviation. So standard deviation in this data is a 3.79%. Now what we have done the statistical analysis on this data. Now if we want to some plotting, we can also plot. So create a bar plot and then use a TM, then use a dollar sign and select that column for which you want to draw or create a bar plot. So I want to check a gross profit margin only. So this is a gross profit margin and our plot is ready to view. So what we will do, we will give it the color. So color is equal to rainbow, and out of rainbow there are 5 bars, so give me 5 colors from rainbow. So you can see now there is no ab line. So ab line h is equal to 0. So at a height of 0, draw a line. So now ab line is drawn. What we will do, we will make the color is red. So now our ab line we can view. So in this way we can create a bar plot. Now if you want a scatter plot, just write down a plot and give me a plot of operating profit margin and gross profit margin. You can see here we can also draw a scatter plot. So in this way we can do a statistical analysis on data frame. So in this video we have learned how to get a data frame, how to do a statistical analysis on it, how to create a plots on it. So let's move to another video. Thank you.